So today's video is going to be about kitchen hoods. Imagine that you have a hood on top of the kitchen and you want to install it, with the purpose of obviously you want the air coming from usually the kitchen and coming out as soon as possible. So I will tell you what is that you need to do in order to make it work, and I will also tell you the difference between a regular hood like this and what we call a recirculating hood, when you have just one of those microwave ovens uh, in the kitchen, and how they absorb the air from the bottom and then they recirculate it from the top. So I will tell you about the regulations that you need to make it safe and to abide to the code. At the moment that I was recording this video, it's October 2023, and the rules that I will show you are based on the Florida Building Code. If you can please take just 2 seconds of your time before we proceed and give us a like and subscribe to our channel, it will help us a lot. Thank you. The most simplistic way of an hood is the microwave oven. This is the one that most people have in every house, in which any air, when you actually turn on the what they call hood within the microwave, it just takes air coming from, let's say, if you have the range here, it just takes the air coming from the range into the microwave at the bottom of it, and then it usually has a way to dispose this air here from the top. It acts more like a filter, but it doesn't take any smell out. Any air coming from the bottom, it gets released from top. So now let's talk about a regular hood, the way that it should be. So let's start with the basics. Imagine that you have a house, something like this, and in this house you have an area which is the kitchen. Let's assume it's this part of the house. And you have the kitchen. For simplicity, I'm going to put the kitchen with a range in this area right here. So this is where the hood is going to be. So you want to put a hood. Now, how big of a hood do you want it to be? Usually, hoods are measured, if you look at the specs, in CFMs. This is the cubic feet per meter of the air coming out from the hood. And there is a big range if you look online at different hoods. I don't know, they can go all the way from 100 CFMs or to, I don't know, maybe like 1600 CFMs. So what's the difference between this 100 and 1600? Well, you may say with a 1600 I get more air out. Yes. Now there is also regulations on what you need to do when you install a bigger hood. If you install just anything that is below, let's say below, let's say no, this is what the code says. If you, and this is what the threshold is, if you have a hood that goes up to no more than 800 CFMs on a residential project, then you're fine. If you have more than 800 CFMs, then you need to install a different equipment. So for 800 CFMs, as I said, when I say you're fine, is that you just install the hood and nothing else. When you install more than 800 CFMs, then you need to consider another equipment. So what is that equipment? So imagine that this is your house, as I said, something very simple, and you have, I don't know, let's put here a door to make it super simple. This is the kitchen and a door. If you have a hood that is, and this is just one of the problems you may have if you don't do what I am about to say. If you have a hood that is taking, let's say, 1600 CFMs, and you connect the hood, and the hood is absorbing 1600 CFMs, it will be very difficult to open this door. Why? Because in this whole area that we call, let's say, the house, the problem is that it's going to create a negative pressure. It's like a vacuum. So when you try to open the door, it's going to be very hard. Not to say other appliances that they may have a gas combustion uh, is not safe. Now, when you, the threshold again is 1800 CFMs. If you are below 800 CFMs, and you don't have any gas equipment inside the house, then you're fine. If you are more than 800, for sure, this is what you need to do. Let me erase this. If you have more than 800, this is where the problem comes. You need to have, I, I wouldn't say problem, but this is where you need to consider something else. You need to have also an intake air, meaning that when you are exhausting air through the hood, you also will need to have air coming in. This air coming in is going to go through a pipe that is going into the house, usually in the same area of the kitchen. So let me draw it. Since this example that I put here is so small, I'm going to draw it in a different color. Let's say right here. So you will have air coming out in green, and you will have air coming in this, I guess, magenta line. But this air coming in will have what we call a motorized damper. This damper, and believe it or not, this I meant to say letter M. This motorized damper will open the grill inside, or the lay the I would say it's like mine. This is, let me draw it. In mine, this duct like this cylinder, and inside you have a blade. That's the word that I wanted to come up with. In mind that you have a blade that it can be either closing, or it can move and then stay in another position. I'm gonna put it in green. Mind that this blade is completely, I don't know if I can put it like this, but it's completely parallel to the cylinder, meaning something like this. So when the blade goes um, completely parallel to the cylinder, then it allows the air to go through. So the motorized damper, this one that I put right here, will action the blade inside the damper to allow the air coming in only when you when you switch on this hood. So the hood and the motorized damper are kind of like synchronized. That will allow, let's say, in the event that you have 1600 CFMs coming out, because you decide to buy a very large hood, then you're going to have also 1600 CFMs coming in. So your pressure inside the house will be equivalent and the same. I'm not going to get into the size of this cylinder right here that I put here as an example, but obviously the bigger the CFMs that are coming out, the bigger the CFM, I mean, the bigger the pipe to allow those CFMs coming in. So this is very simple, and sometimes people do not understand, but I hope that it will help you when if you are shopping for a kitchen hood. Now you know a little bit more of a safe way that meets the code, and it will prevent any nuisance issues inside your house if you decide to install one. If you think this video had helped you, please provide us a like and subscribe to our channel so we can produce more of these videos in the coming future. Thank you.